have a second clip here. This one came in on the Discord, and Sam on the Discord sent in the show Broke Girl Therapy. And I thought this would be a fun one since we have Jimmy here. This is like a sex talk.
Ooh, good.
Kind of show.
Salty talk.
Yeah. And it takes a long time for her to get there, so I'll set up a little bit what she's talking about. So this girl hooked up with a couple, and they were all having sex together, and they had these anal beads, and they inserted the anal beads into this girl who's going to be talking and telling this story.
Yep.
And I guess they started small, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the last one has a little hook in it, so you could potentially pull them out when the time is right.
Yeah, you got to pull it like you're trying to start a crank on a lawnmower.
Yeah. It looks like one of those size charts of the solar system. That's how anal beads look.
Yeah, I'm not taking the sun anytime soon.
No.
I'm still on Mars.
We're gonna go to Neptune, to Jupiter, and that's the end of it.
Straight to Uranus.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mitty.
I avoided it. That's why I said Neptune,
low-hanging
because
fruit.
Uranus was too much.
It's low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry.
Start with Pluto, a little Mercury. All right.
Any more planet jokes before we move on?
No, I got a lot. Trust me, this James Webb has inspired me.
Anyways, at one point, I'm like in doggy, and he's like pounding into me from behind. And the wife, she goes, "Oh, I didn't know you took them out." And I was like, "I didn't take them out." She was like, "Then where did they go?"
Boy, let's play a game of Where's the Anal Beads?
Oh, no.
That's always a fun game to play.
There's two choices.
Yeah. Then his daughter walked into the room, and she had a new toy.
And because nothing was sticking out of my ass, like the little heart thing. So we looked everywhere, because sometimes when you're having sex and you have anal stuff in, it pushes
so
out.
Scared.
It pushes out. Yeah. Sometimes
I think you would know.
Yeah.
I think you would know if it came out.
Yeah, like if you fucking cough and you feel something jostling around in your colon, the beads are in your asshole. By the way, I love this woman.
I thought you would.
Love
do you
her.
know who she actually is?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's
I thought
very
you'd like
sexy.
her.
No.
Yes. Yeah. She has a lot of followers. I think they have like 15,000 on Instagram.
Oh, she's juicy.
I'll send you a
sexy.
link.
So sexy.
I've had it before too. I had a butt plug in once, and I was riding a guy, and the butt plug came out as I was coming, which is kind of funny. Anyways,
Fucking
so
smack the
we
wall.
thought maybe I had like pushed it out. So we like flipped the entire room looking for the anal beads. Finally, I was like, we were like, okay, they didn't come out, so let's check in. So I will never forget. I was like on all fours, and the husband was like fingering my asshole. He was like, "I don't feel anything," and like he had pretty long fingers.
Oh
okay,
my God.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Ouch.
at this point, I'm freaking out a little bit,
Right.
because I'm like, where the fuck did they go? Mind you, these things
This is
are
like the start of an ER story.
Yeah.
For real. And I used to have a scare of like having a tampon up like while I was. That's so scary. But having that in your ass, fuck.
I've had that too, the tampon scare.
By the way, I
And
like
these
that she
are
has a
they're
nice
about-
normal example for this bees lost in the asshole. One time I was eating a lollipop and I put it down and I'm like, oh my God, where did it go? It's not the same thing.
Not really a good
Not the same
analogy on
thing,
that
no.
one.
I've had that too, the tampon scare. And these are like, they're about like 6 inches long, these anal beads. Maybe a little bit longer. Anyways, so
Did
finally,
you still feel it in you? Like
I couldn't feel anything.
Wouldn't you have like?
Well, obviously not. They
couldn't
looked under
feel
the couch
anything.
cushions.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a giant whore. Of course I couldn't feel it. There's all this shit in my ass. What are you talking about?
I like these normal questions. Could you feel them in your ass?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I could, but I figured let's tear the room apart anyway.
Yeah, unless you're just fucking with the couple.
no.
I like how the
then
guy's
that's
just
another-
going through her ass like a suitcase. He's just like,
He had long fingers. It was the guy from Conjuring 2 walking down the hallway, just poking around in her anus. God, is she hot? I love this girl. I fucking
Is
love
that
her.
her twin sister across from her too? They look identical.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Beautiful long hair. Very
I didn't
juicy.
feel anything. No, then that's another thing too. Is maybe because they
Did you
for
like
so
push
long?
a little bit, like?
Well, so I went to I was like, excuse me for a second, and I went to my bathroom and I started pushing and pushing, and finally, and I had my finger in my ass, and like, I had pretty long nails at that time, and finally, I felt the heart.
Oh Lord.
The piece, and I like
actual
kept
heart.
pushing, and then I just pulled it all out. So
Was it poopy?
no, it wasn't actually. It really wasn't.
wow.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, how far up my ass did those go? Because imagine like a finger, which is like probably at least like 2.5 inches, and then further than that because I couldn't feel them. I had to push, and then 6 inches in from that. So like these were probably like in my small intestines at this point. Anyways.
So she's probably not a professional broadcaster like I am. I would have let that story breathe for a minute.
Oh,
Take a beat after that
They
one.
were
She's like,
probably
anyway.
in my small intestines back after this.
The couple was looking for like a drain snake to stick down her throat.
Jesus Christ.
I bet you she has a nice, juicy hiney.
Yeah.
I bet you she has a round, plump, juicy hiney.
She seems confident in it.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there.
I love her.
She's letting a stranger, these couple just shove things into her ass and not
Yeah.
knowing where they went. I don't need to know too much about the anatomy, though. When girls start talking about like where that's bumping up against, I'm like, all right, now it's getting gross.
I never want really like intestinal talk. Like up the ass is hot, finger in the ass. But it was actually hitting the colon. All right, no, I'm out. I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, as soon as we start pink socking it and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's supposed to be on the inside. I'm no longer turned on by this.
No, I'm not a big inserting things in the asshole guy anyway. A finger maybe, but nothing crazy.
We lost a fellow podcaster this week. Anne Heche did not make it.
Was she a podcaster?
She was.
That's why she was driving so fast. She was late. She was late for her podcast.
So, Jimmy, I think you're going to find this to be fun. I hope you find this to be fun. So, Anne Heche is on the show called Better Together with Heather Duffy. And people were saying that she left the podcast right before the accident. And I don't know if you've seen any of the footage of this, but she was driving like a lunatic. She almost hit a pedestrian.
All the ring footage of her going down this. You could hear
flying through neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And then eventually hit a curb, went into a house, blew up the house. She was stuck in the car.
Yeah.
She was in critical condition, but I think they had to take her off life support yesterday. What are you smiling about over there?
I'm smiling because if you want to hear Carl's real thoughts on this, listen to last week's Creep Off.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did talk about this on the Creep Off. That was before she passed, obviously. So what's really interesting is that the last podcast they put out, they had to take down.
Yeah.
Because it turns out there was cocaine in Anne's system. And, there's speculation that she was maybe boozing it. There was a bottle of vodka in their car when they took a photo of her before she was driving. And
why did they take that photo of her before they were driving?
That's a great question. Do you want to pose just before you kill people?
Yeah.
It was a weird shot, yeah. But did they know her, the people that took that picture, or was that just from a stranger who just
That's
recognized
a good question.
her? Yeah.
New York Post pulled it from
She
somewhere.
hit something. She hit like one garage and then turned around and
kept going.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody who's like high who wants to either kill them. Did her brother kill himself driving a car? Somebody told me that, but I have to ask because I don't know if it's true.
I didn't see that when I was doing any research, so I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe it's complete falsehood. I'm glad I asked it.
Well, there's a rule that we have on this show.
Fact checking.
So we'll never know. We'll never know if it's true or not. All right. So what's interesting here is that
Fire and forget.
remember they took this episode down, but I want to thank the listener. Do you remember who it was who sent us this episode?
Oh shit! I gotta go find it.
Yeah, look it up. I'm sorry. I should have written that down.
Yeah.
But a listener found the audio that's been scrubbed from the internet. And so we have it here. And I have the video form just because there's software that tries to decipher what Anne Heche is saying. So I thought that'd be helpful for us, even though it doesn't always get it right.
They'd be shocked to know we are actually stone cold sober right now.
Except that we are sitting with refined.
But wait,
we each have a bottle in front of us because our friends sent us refined.
I want to point out, so Heather's the one saying, by the way, we're sober right now. And Anne Heche is the one going, well, except for the fact that I got vodka in front of me.
Yeah.
So Refined is a brand of vodka that sponsors the show.
Wait,
And I think I even did a bad commercial for them when we were in the beginning of our days about, let's say, 64 episodes ago. And we did a terrible commercial.
Oh, it was not.
For
It
them.
was fun.
No,
now
it
we're
was
here
a
at the
fun
end of
commercial, but
days.
we were like, oh my God, Refined when we thought
Yeah,
we were
if
like,
you're in Paso
doing
Robles,
commercials, and
you should go to
here
Refined.
and there, and you should go there and here, and oh my God, it was
We
terrible.
didn't quite know how to do commercials.
That sounds like someone on Coke.
Maybe, yeah, but I don't know what she sounded like normally.
No?
Like I know who she is from dating Ellen and like her being, but I wouldn't know. Like if she had walked in the room without seeing all these pictures in the last 2 weeks, I would not have known that's Anne Heche. I have no
That's
idea.
true. She's
what she
changed a
sounds
lot,
like.
too. I got to say, she used to be a piece of ass.
She's very sexy. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's not going, it wasn't, well, it's certainly not going well now, but.
Yeah, I don't know what she sounds like totally sober, so I wouldn't know the difference.
All right. Well, let's assume she sounds like an adult.
Okay.
And then listen to this clip.
Dr. Rom said that we should be drinking vodka instead of wine.
And we listened.
So Refined makes vodka. They sent us vodka, and we are
drinking
their
it.
advice. Although, if you look to the side, you might see
with wine chasers.
So she might have been drinking.
Yeah, with wine chasers too. But it's doctor's orders. What are you gonna do?
Fucking Dr. Nick.
Isn't it crazy? You're doing a podcast.
Inflammable meets flammable.
I'll buy the goddamn drugstore. You talking about Nicopolis, Dr. Nick?
No,
Elvis's doctor.
Yes, Dr.
Yeah,
Nicopolis.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Nick was
That's
the
where
kind
he
of
got the name from.
unofficial.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
really? That's the Simpsons thing?
Yeah.
Never saw it.
Yeah. Of course not.
I thought you were just talking about the real Elvis the Doctor.
He probably was. All right. So Anne starts telling a story, and if I'm Heather on this episode of this show, I might just pull the plug and go, let's just record another time. It's not going to work out today.
I was outside. I lived downtown, as people know, and I was on the mezzanine level. There's a garden. They call it a garden on our in our parking lot, basically. And I was outside meditating, and which is different for me than most people because I'm kind of active when I meditate. I actually did have my eyes closed, and
I was driving.
dog started barking, my eyes open, and there is a pit bull coming toward me, barking his head off a leash, and I'm up against the wall of the building underneath. The buildings behind me are so gorgeous because it's on West Broadway downtown, and so the Orpheum Theater signs, the old beautiful signs.
Yeah, she sounds a little tipsy. But that's a podcast you would tape. I wouldn't end that podcast because you know that if somebody is fucked up and they're saying some crazy shit, it's better audio. Like
Unless it's your friend and you want to protect her at some point. She sounds pretty zooted.
But does she normally do that on the podcast?
That's a good question.
Does she still have a publicist? Because if any publicist has heard this is not getting out.
Well, Heather Duffy is a publicist. Like, she's a PR professional, which is interesting.
Get the fuck
I
out.
know. This is not going to look good for her either.
But if you're known as being kind of fucked up and like doing coke in Hollywood, that's a lot of Hollywood. Like a lot of people drink and get fucked up in Hollywood. So I don't think that's that crazy.
I don't hear anything like this.
Have you ever heard Rob Lowe's podcasts like this?
Exactly. That's what I mean. You know what she sounds like? She sounds like, when Kristen Wiig was doing Kathy Lee and being out, you wouldn't know this. No. It's an SNL thing. Kristen Wiig used to play Kathy Lee on SNL and just like be like way too drunk to be on the air. That's kind of like Anne Heche sounds like she's doing that character.
Do you think that Mike Tyson sounds more coherent on his podcast?
Yes.
Then this, I agree.
Only barely, but yes.
We got a new game.
Yeah. All right. So this is funny because Heather is trying to promote this procedure, this skin procedure from this physician in Hollywood.
Yeah, you got to burn it all off.
Well, it's interesting you say that because that is kind of the case. But Anne's not understanding they're trying to promote this procedure. So Anne's shitting all over it, and I can tell that Heather's just going, oh, no.
Oh, that's funny. When you don't know that it's a sponsor and you're bashing, what the fuck is this shit? They're sponsors.
Well, Anne should know because she got the procedure for free. They both did, so they could do the testimonials down the road. This is great.
No. I have to tell you, no. Well, that was about 5 days later. The day after, I swear to God, if I had known what I was going to look like, which, by the way, I never would have done it because the day after, I looked like a train, like that choo-choo train that you just heard. I looked like that train ran over my face. I don't look at I know I'm an actress, but the fact of the matter is, everybody looks at me so much, and I have to sit and make up surgery. I'm a person who does not look in the mirror very often. I don't spend too much time on my face. I don't look at my face. I don't pick at my face.
Not the rear view mirror, not the side mirrors.
I do not spend. I spend time crafting character. I don't look in the mirror. When I got up the next
Jim comment.
Well, the funny part to me, all I can think of is how she's shitting on a sponsor, and the other woman is going, "What the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
But hold on, they're pre-taping this. This is not live, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah, so she could just cut this.
Yeah. So listen, it gets even better here.
day from getting this, I looked like an Aborigine, like had tattoo art on me. I didn't. But when I got up the next day, I looked like the elephant woman and her cousin. Like both, two faces on
Okay,
me.
but,
It was
let's
the
get
most
to
ridiculous.
what's interesting for
She's
people
picking
is
everything awful she can look like. I sound like an elephant stepped on me. I look like a train hit my face. I look like 10 people shit in my hat. and Heather's probably going, this is a fucking sponsor. What are you doing?
Shit, we really lost an artist, didn't we?
once we got through that week, I see a difference, and the difference is supposed to be most noticeable at 6 to 12 weeks because it regenerates your cells under your skin.
Yeah, this is one like when you're doing it and the wheels have come off. You're like, we have to just retape this commercial.
Yeah. No shit. Anne Heche is just like, I would never do that again. That was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And I was like, yeah, but like 12 weeks later you had healed, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I look
12
great.
weeks later,
It's
Jesus.
supposed to be a rough first couple weeks.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine if they tried to sell the vaccine that way?
It says right here, looking like the Elephant Man is normal for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the Elephant Girl's sister is also fucked up looking in her analogy.
Yeah,
I look like the Elephant Woman and her sister. Like her sister is also deformed.
Yeah, she's like, why are you bringing me into this?
Yeah, what'd I do?
Yeah.
The goddamn Elephant Man reunion.
Yeah, the Elephant Girl's sister is the one who gets all the dick because the Elephant Girl is so ugly. All right, boo.
All right, so this is Anne Heche just derailing any type of conversation that Heather is trying to have.
It's like a little needle. So a tiny little needle burns tiny little holes all over our face, which makes the cells regenerate in some way that tightens and lifts and removes wrinkles. People actually use it as a boob lift, which I'm interested in doing. You know,
Your boobs would take so way longer than my
I know,
boobs
they
would
would
take.
cost double,
There would
too.
be like 9 days on Heather's boobs and maybe like 20 minutes on mine. Like, oh, in and out with Ann. Like, I could go through the drive-thru and Heather would be there for like 2 weeks at the hotel. My
Anyways.
golly.
I believe the drive-through
Anyways.
part.
In other words, your tits suck, Heather.
Or Heather has big tits. I don't know what Heather looks like. Maybe Anne has small breasts and Heather has large tits.
I think that's what they're implying there. But I just decided that I think that from now on, when someone derails a conversation on a podcast, we should call that Anne Heching the show. I think that is probably could be used to describe a lot of the creep off episodes. we've been
Sometimes you just
recording.
got to get back on the bleach.
By the way, this program that deciphers is funny, the mistakes it's making.
Yeah, I know. It's trying.
I know.
It's really trying. This is the last clip I have on this. And when you're trying to sell a procedure like this, where they're like killing skin cells and then they regrow,
Yeah.
you don't want to be too descriptive
It's supposed
about
to be very
it.
painful.
Yeah,
It's a
very
painful procedure.
You look terrible afterwards.
Yeah, you look like shit.
The last thing you want to do is provide a ton of details on it.
It all becomes, those little dots become brown, like spots. They get brown and then they peel off.
I mean, that's
Right?
Yeah, that's super gross. But that is
Well, I mean,
totally, yes.
it's
I mean, we
what
want to be real, but not that real. But
all right, I'll hide it.
well, I'm kidding. Somebody could be having lunch right now, and they're just like, okay.
Well, it's also because it's a sponsor.
A
and you don't want to
sponsor.
describe it that closely.
Not just the lunch.
Anne probably just went and got it done and didn't realize, oh yeah, they gave it for free. But as an actress, you probably get so much shit for free. You're kind of used to things being
Right.
comped or people liking you. And then you're not realizing, oh, we're talking about this for a reason.
And plus, in Anne's defense, she has no idea where she is right now.
Yeah.
She's having this conversation. She's like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Why is this in front of me?
Yeah, God knows I've said that after I lifted up a dress. Home run, call me a home run.
Double guns.